Hi guys, Bobby Whitaker here, and I am here to tell you exactly how to take your products and kind of take all the guesswork out of this for you, make it simpler, right? We're just going to be going over a few of the products today because I don't want to get this too complicated. I want to keep it super simple. All right, well, thanks for checking in, and if you are on this video, then you will see, and maybe not just yet if you're brand new here, but that there will be more videos coming to keep the education flowing, right? As we know, there's always more to learn. And if you're a student, you're always learning. So it's always good to be learning, right? So anyway, let's go over how these products have really made a difference for us. And again, we're just gonna go over exactly how to take them, okay? So if you are a sensitive person, like you consider yourself like, hey, if I take anything, I usually take half or a third of the normal amount. Like if a Tylenol affects you like in a major way, right? Then you might want to be this person that's considered the sensitive person. So what I would say is that you want to start with just one of the capsules in the morning and one in the afternoon or one at night. Okay, so 1 and 1, right? You're going to take 2 capsules per day of the colostrum and just stick with that. And do that for probably about a week, right? And just see how you do. And if you do just fine with that, no problems, then go ahead and add in and go to the beginner level, okay? So what is the beginner level? Beginner level is when you're actually doing 3 capsules of the colostrum, and then you're gonna go ahead and add in the rest of the things, like your Limouzi and your GB6. So those are the basic, all around overall health products, right? So in another video, you'll see that here in a second. You want to check that out. We go over why you want to take these products, and that's so important, you guys. If you don't understand the why, it's just like anything else. You're not really going to follow through with it, because if your brain doesn't comprehend why you're doing something, it's going to be like, what's the point, right? So you want to understand that part. So make sure you jump to that video probably next about the why if you haven't seen that just yet. Okay, back to beginner level. You're doing 3 of these capsules per day. So I just go ahead and do them in the morning. For me, morning routine is easiest. Just go ahead and take those in the morning. And then you're going to go ahead and do your GB6. Did I bring that? You're going to do your GB6 and your Limouzi. And what you can do is go ahead and just mix the Limouzi and the GB6 together if you want to, and dump them in about 4 to 6 ounces of water and just down it. I personally love the taste of this little drink, and I drink it before bed each night. For me, these minerals really help me to relax. So in the Limouzi, and the GB6 helps heal the gut lining. So I'm thinking like gut lining, I want to put that in. For me personally, I love to do it at night so that while I'm fasting at night, right, that my body is able to do that deeper healing. So I do the GB6 and the Limouzi together at night before bed in about 4 to 6 ounces of water, okay? And I just drink them now. All right, so that's your maintenance. If you want to jump on into the advanced level, and I will tell you, at the beginning, I did more like a sensitive kind of protocol. Then I jumped into beginner. I kind of went through all these steps, right? I went through beginner level and then a maintenance level. And then now I'm at more of the advanced level, okay? And if I had never heard anybody talk about the advanced level, I never would have done it. So I wanted to make sure you guys hear, a little bit about the why too, but hear people talk about the advanced levels, okay? So the colostrum is so regenerative in nature. It helps support your immune system. It helps rebuild the thymus gland. I mean, I've never seen anything like colostrum and what it can do. 700 nutrients, and 100 of those are made for helping support the immune system, and it's adaptive. Whether you have a hyper immune system, it's going to calm that down. If you have a low functioning immune system, it's going to help bring it more to midline, right? So everything that the colostrum is doing and all the factors in there, and cofactors, it's either, if it's got a hyper system, it's going to bring it more to midline. If it's got a low system, it's going to bring it more to midline. It's always working to bring you back to balance. So the body is the thing that actually does the healing, right? The power that made the body heals the body. It happens no other way. That's how we were taught it in chiropractic, and I believe that. But the power that made the body heals the body also has set up systems inside the body for it to be constantly regenerating, constantly repairing. And I have slides on the hope for healing and how the body is literally rebuilding itself. Every 7 years, we get a brand new body. So if you need new eyes and you need new liver, you need new heart, you know, your body is constantly making new cells. So we got to give it the right things to make healthier cells with, right? Okay, so for the advanced version, all right, I'm just going to jump and show you like a higher level, right? I'm just going to tell you a story. There's a lady who had Lyme's disease, and she was trying to get her energy level back to more normal, right? You know, if you've ever seen anybody with Lyme, it's horrible. I had a friend in college who got Lyme disease from, she was the most active person I've ever met. She was just super fun loving and constantly outdoors and did all the things. She was caver, and she did rock climbing, and she did whitewater rafting, and that was her actual degree, was in all these like outdoor fun activities that are like extreme, right? Anyway, she got Lyme and literally went to sleeping like 16, 17 hours on the couch per day, and that's what Lyme can do. It can just knock you out of life, basically. So anyway, she was this lady that I was talking to you about before. She was taking about 1/3 of a cup per day of the colostrum, and that just lets you know like how amazing colostrum is, because it's a food. So if you don't need it, your body's just going to get rid of it. So once you've kind of built your body up to where you can handle a higher level like this, she was doing 1/3 of a cup of colostrum twice a day. Okay. That's pretty crazy, right? We've even had person who had fractured his spine from jumping and diving into too shallow of a pool of water, and he fractured his spine, like a compression fracture. He was trying to repair that fracture. Again, you know, not to say that this can do that, but at the same time, you're regenerating when you give your body the colostrum. You're giving it better tools to do so. He was doing about 1 pound of colostrum per day. Like, how crazy is that, right? But that's not really crazy at all when you think about, hey, what your body has to do to repair that kind of an injury. Now you need to dump in. I always tell my patients, as a chiropractor, I tell people, like, if you're in a health ditch, you might want to really think about how much good you're putting in, because if you're, depending on how low your ditch is, right, how deep your ditch is, if it's way down here, you need to pour in more just to get up to surface level, and then you got to build from there, right? Sorry, nose itching. But that's the truth. So if you, if he had like a fracture of his spine, his health is way down here in this way deep ditch. So he's got to really pour in a lot of good. And that was where he was doing 1 pound of colostrum per day. Like, that's a lot. So, but anyway, that just gives you an idea of how much you can do, and it will help you, and it could make a really big difference. Okay, what Jason and I heard from Ken Perry that he was doing was 3 tablespoons per day. And that caught our attention. Why? Because we saw Ken Perry had lost over 100 pounds in about 3.5 months. And we were blown away by that. We were like, wow, this is really working for you. And so what he said was he was doing 1 meal a day, like intermittent fasting. Then what he added in was the colostrum, the Limousin, and the GB6. And he said what had happened was that gave him so much more energy that he went to able to walk and get so much done in his day and be so much more productive. But he was able to start walking 7 miles a day, and that just really bumped him up, and it really helped him with his intermittent fasting. He said when he didn't do the colostrum, like he wasn't getting the same results. You know, he wasn't getting the same decrease in his appetite, and just this focus and mental clarity and just the energy and all of the things. So 3 tablespoons per day. So I start my day with about 1 tablespoon of colostrum, and I drink Seismic now. I mean, that's a more advanced protocol as well, but the Seismic is their healthy energy drink. So if you haven't tried that, I highly recommend it. I put 1 tablespoon of colostrum in there, and that is how I start my day. And a lot of times I'll even add some OxyQuest to that. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but that one adds more oxygen. So if you have any kind of other extra immune challenges, or you just need better ability to breathe because you're going to be out in the heat, or you're going to be out walking or running or doing all the things. Anyway, those are advanced protocols. But again, 3 tablespoons of colostrum is what Ken Perry was doing when he lost 100 pounds in about 3.5 months, right? So Jason and I do typically 2 tablespoons of colostrum per day. And we're finding that really has benefited us majorly to be able to push that food out, right? To push breakfast out to lunch at least. And then after we did, actually, yeah, that's a good way to start. But actually what we did was we kind of tried to follow Ken Perry's advice and do the 1 meal a day. So you guys can do however you want. And if you want to, you know, talk to whoever got you here, or let us know that you need some help, but we can help you. But 1 meal a day is doable, but I would say probably work your way to get there. So if you want to do some intermittent fasting like that. But what I would start with is just pushing your breakfast out to lunch. And if you do great with that, you may have, you know, maybe try having another tablespoon of colostrum at lunchtime and see if you can push that lunch out to like 2 p.m. If you do that, you're decreasing your feeding window and you're giving your body more time to do more healing, right? And so that fasting part, along with the colostrum, can really make a difference if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to help your body overcome a chronic disease. Okay. Back to what you take. So we're doing about 2 tablespoons per day, Jason and I are, and then we do 1 to 2 GB6 per day. If you're at this more advanced level, yeah, I would say probably at least 2 GB6 per day, because it's going to rebuild the gut lining, and where you might have gaps or leaky gut syndrome, which is very common today. Almost everybody I talk to in the office has some sort of digestive issue, whether it's irritable bowel or Crohn's or ulcerative, or they just aren't moving their bowels. They're constantly constipated. We have people like that a lot. So get that GB6 in, and if you want to start out with just the 1, that's perfect, and then work your way up to taking 2 per day. Some people do even more, you know, 3 per day or more. It will not hurt you, but it will get your bowels to move if you keep doing that. Okay, so typically though 1 to 2 per day on the GB6, and then depending on how toxic you are, Limouzi is a great product for helping your body handle toxicity, because it binds, has zeolite clay in it, and it binds to different toxins in the body, and you will literally urinate them out and get them out in your feces and that kind of thing. So if you're super toxic, I had a guy that I tested him, and he was testing for some standard process stuff that was like, he was gonna have to take 80 pills. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna recommend 80 pills of something to anybody, right? So, but what we did was put him on the Limouzi at 2 of these per day. And in 2 months, this guy was a complete turnaround in his health. And again, this is not the magic bullet. What this is it facilitates what your body is doing to heal itself from the inside out, right? This helps bind to those toxins. Those toxins are a major stressor to your systems in your body, whether it be your neurological system, your digestive system, your circulatory system, your I think we said nervous system, your lymphatic system, all of the systems in your body. Those toxins are a major stressor to it. If you take some stress off of the body, it will function so much better. So this is a major helper in that. Also, this is great for the endocrine system. If you have any kind of thyroid issues, your thyroid and your adrenals, I don't know if you know what the adrenals are, but they're back here above the kidneys, and those are the ones that produce all the cortisol. So when you're under stress, you know, like a pandemic or post-pandemic world that we're living in where it's super high stress right now, yeah, your adrenals and your thyroid need extra support right now, and this Limouzi product is a major helper for that. It supports the endocrine system so well. It decreases inflammation, and it pulls out a lot of those toxins, which, guess what? The thyroid and the adrenals are very susceptible to that kind of thing. The other thing is it pours in the minerals and the sea minerals that your body needs so much. Like if we lived at the ocean and we could just constantly be at the ocean, we would be so much healthier. But this has that sea kelp in it. The Laminaria japonica, the fucoxanthins, all of these great things, along with the zeolite, along with the colostrum, and it just really helps support those endocrine organs, which are so important because that's where all your hormones can stay in better balance and function more optimally. So I'd say if you're super toxic, or you feel toxic, or you don't feel right, or maybe you've had a headache going on, a lot of times a headache is due to too many toxins. You know, like if you've gotten your hair colored and then you don't feel good, or you went out to eat and maybe you got a bunch of MSG in your food or gluten in your food and you reacted to it. Here you go. take a couple of these, right? Your Limousin. So this supports all of those systems. Okay, hopefully that helps you. We went over all of the products, the colostrum, the GB6, and the Limousin. I'll do another video where we're going to go over some of these more advanced products that you probably don't have at the very beginning of getting started. And if you do think that's awesome, move on to that next video and we'll go over that a little bit more there. All right, have a great day.